Joining us right now is the Institute of World Politics professor and the author of Defeating Jihad, Dr. Sebastian Gorka. Dr. Gorka, good to see you.
Good morning, Maria.
Thank you so much for joining us. So what do you think these protests say about the perception of Americans abroad?
Before I do that, Maria, I have to say, if there's a Pulitzer Prize for financial reporting, I hope you get it after the way you dealt with Professor Gruber yesterday. That was masterful. Masterful.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gorka. I appreciate that. He definitely set me off when he said it has no relation to economic growth. Ridiculous.
He deserved both barrels, and you gave it to him. Look, let's remember, do we remember just a few years ago at the beginning of a certain Illinois senator's presidency, he made a statement, I believe in American exceptionalism the same way the Greeks believe in Greek exceptionalism. Well, I guess that comment didn't win him a lot of friends, nor did it win him some respect. This administration has had as its official slogan in international affairs, leading from behind. That is the White House bumper sticker. Sorry, yes, leading from behind, which in my dictionary means following. That lack of leadership is what President Obama is paying the price for now. He is disrespected, he is not respected, he is not admired, and more importantly, he isn't feared by the people who should fear America. So Donald Trump will have to deal with this, and he will deal with it.
What do you think? Why do you think he went to Europe? His next stop is Germany. What do you think President Obama is looking to accomplish, or is this another apology tour over Donald Trump?
I don't know if it's another apology tour. I think this is probably the last place in the world where he thinks he might have some friends. If you look at his policies, the idea that we're going to have unfettered migration, we're going to legalize illegal immigrants, well, where do you see this? You see this only in Europe. You see this in the Germany of Chancellor Merkel. You see this across the Scandinavian nations. So I think he's looking for his sympathetic bedfellows before he has to leave the White House.
I see. Here's Kevin Kelly.
Dr. Gorka, thanks for being on with us. I always enjoy your insight. So the main question here is we need to come back from this 8 years of power vacuum that's been filled from the Middle East, especially when it's come to Iran. They've saber-rattled, they've taken, there was a ransom situation. What are the best policies, or what's the best things that this new administration can do within the first 100 days to set the tone on our foreign policy?
Yeah, so the world is on fire after the last 8 years, Kevin. Wherever you look, Asia, the Middle East, Africa, Europe, it is just aflame because of the lack of American leadership. In the first 100 days, I think because of the threat of ISIS, the most important thing President-elect Trump has to do is to rebuild all those relationships in the Middle East that have been broken by the Obama administration, whether it's with President Sisi of Egypt, the largest Arab nation in the world, whether it's with King Abdullah, the monarch of Jordan. We have to reestablish the ties upon which we can build an effective response right now. And I can tell you, I have worked closely with the militaries of those Muslim allied nations. We don't have friends in the region because they don't trust us. They think we go in there, break the China, and leave. Donald Trump has to rebuild those relations in the first 100 days.
How tough will that be?
It will be tough. It will be tough. But I think because there's such a big difference in terms of style, in terms of rhetoric, between a President Obama who says lead from behind and a man who says make America great again, I think it will be easier than for any other potential Republican politician to do this. So if anybody can do this, Maria, it is Donald Trump.
That's a great point.
So Dr. Gorka, I'm really curious, who do you want to see in the cabinet to help him make all this happen?
Look, I want to see the most important thing for me is that it is people who share his vision. People who understand it's not about incrementalism. We are not here to dicker at the edges of Washington. We are here to change it. Look at what Mike Pence just did. No more lobbyists. Lobbyists are out. If you're in the transition team and you're connected to a lobbying firm, sorry, thanks, but this is a new day. So I want to see people who truly share his vision about making America great again and who wish to support American leadership. leadership in the world.
Dr. Gorka, his vision hasn't necessarily been one of making ties with a lot of countries. And then some of the people who have been associated with him, like, for example, Lieutenant General Flynn, you know, has talked about stepping back from some of our allies, like Japan and South Korea. So, I mean, where do you see some of these figures who have not necessarily been about making ties, as you've just described, are so important fitting into the administration and the message that it will send to the rest of the world?
Yeah, I don't think that's an accurate depiction. It's not about disconnecting or breaking ties. The statements that have been made about Asian partners, perhaps European allies, is a simple one. Look, guys, if you want to be...
Well, it certainly concern them. Leaders in those countries are certainly
maybe. It should concern them because there's a different sheriff in town. The key message is, look, guys, you want to be part of the team. You want to benefit from America's role in the world, you have to step up to the plate. You've got to do things for yourself before we come together as a team. That's a really sound message. When you have NATO nations that can't even get to 2% GDP defense spending, that's ridiculous.
Well, that is an important
Dr. Gorka, I think you're hitting the nail on the head, too, when you spoke previously. America used to speak softly and carry a big stick, and we've lost the efficacy of our words and our actions right now. So one of the biggest issues on the campaign trail was NATO, though. So do you think Donald Trump will be able to get our allies back on board and have them also carry their own weight, as you were talking about?
I think so, because having spoken to regularly General Flynn, who forget the ridiculous accusations in the media, this is a man who understands the threat of a bullying Russia, understands what they're doing in the Baltics. These nations want a strong America, want America back on the scene as the leader in the international system. So, you know, there'll be some tense discussions at the beginning, but the new coach will bring the team together, and we will deal with threats such as a bullying Putin or a rising militant China, because it will be Donald Trump who understands them, thanks to people like General Flynn.
So Dr. Gorka, I know that you're also being considered for a role in government. Should you get such a role, would you recommend Iran on doing that deal should be the priority? Dealing with Russia should be the priority? Understanding Putin and what his motivations are, or something else? What should be the foreign policy priority?
The priority right now is to send a very clear message that America is back and we are here to help. We're not about invading countries. We're not about cookie cutting them into visions of ourselves. We are here to defend the values of the founding. That means ISIS, number one. We have to create a real coalition, not the Potemkin one that exists now, a real Sunni coalition to take down ISIS. We deal with Russia as a bully. They're not an existential threat. They're just a bully. This guy's a KGB colonel. This is how KGB colonels behave. And Iran is a huge, huge problem. We've got to take down that deal. That deal that facilitates a terrorist sponsor has to be completely jettisoned, and a clear message sent to the Iranians. Stop sponsoring terrorism or you will pay a price.